Hamlin, case number 2009-4451DS. And ma'am, could you please state your name for the record?
Crystal Kalaga.
All right. And sir, your name for the record?
Matthew Lawrence Hamlin.
All right. And I want to thank everybody for appearing via Zoom today. As always, please realize this is a legal proceeding, just as if you guys were here and present in the courtroom. Do you guys have any questions regarding that this, in fact, is a legal proceeding today?
No, sir.
All right. And we're here today on plaintiff's motion regarding titled Violation of Parenting Time and Parenting Time Change. All right. So, ma'am, this is your opportunity to explain what. All right. So, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, so on Friday, September 15th was the day I was supposed to pick up my son for my court-ordered weekend. So I got to the ice cream place at like 5:45. I threw something away. I went in, I got something to drink. I was talking to my sister on the phone. And then I'm like, he's not here yet at 6 o'clock. And so then I waited a couple more minutes and it was like 6:15. And I texted him through the app and was like, are you bringing Ricky or what are you doing? And he said that he was there, but he didn't see me there, which is weird because Charlie Brown's ice cream place, there's only one-way entrance and a one-way exit. So I parked in the same spot. I was parked in the last 4 times that we had to pick up and drop off. As soon as you pull in the entrance to the left, there's like 3 or 4 handicap spots, and then there's a couple regular spots before you curve, and it's like a drive-through, and then there's more parking on the other side. So when you pull in the parking lot, you literally have to pass by my car. So apparently he was parked where you pass the drive-through and there's like more spots over here, which is where you exit. And he said, oh, I was on the north side. I didn't see you, so I left. And I said, well, I was here, so why don't you bring him back? And he didn't. And so his house is like 10 minutes from the ice cream place. So I said, okay, well, I'll just pick him up from your house then. So I went to his house and I called the police and he wasn't there. So the police wanted me to meet them at like the end of his road. So I did. And then the police wanted me to go back with them to his house. So then I waited in the car in the driveway and the cop came and went and talked to Matthew up at his house. And then the cop came back down to me. And he said, I told Matthew that you're saying you were there and you're obviously here now and it's your weekend through the court, but he's still refusing to release him. He says you guys can just go to court. And so the cop was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I can't enforce custodial stuff. So he gave me a card with his number on it. And he said he recommended filing a show cause hearing because I can have the weekend that I was denied or that I missed made up. And then he suggested changing the location from Charlie Brown's ice cream shop to the Elmont police station since he's stating I wasn't there and I was. So that's what I did.
Did you get your next alternate weekend then? Or no?
I did.
Okay. So this is about that one weekend then? Yeah,
I want my weekend made up and I want the location changed.
So what time did you end up at Mr. Hamlin's house when the police came? What time was that? Do you recall?
Probably I called as soon as I got to his house. So I was on the phone with the 911 girl for like a good half an hour because she said it was shift change. So I think it was around 7.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Hamlin, you want to explain to me what happened?
Yeah, so there's more to it. It goes back previous visits also. The visit before this, she didn't even show up to at all. I messaged her through the app. I waited there till 2 p.m. Never heard from her. She never responded. This would have been the 2nd, September 2nd for the holiday weekend.
Okay.
She looked at the message at 3:15 p.m. I seen it on the app. She never responded, nothing. So I go there on the 15th. I got there 5:45. And as she said, I pulled in. I pulled around to the north side of the building and parked just in case she was over there. I figure, well, let me see if I sat there. I waited till 6:15. I left. She didn't text me back until 6:25. Are you bringing Ricky up here? And I said, well, I haven't heard from you in a month and a half. I assumed you weren't coming again since you missed your last one. And no, I left. We were getting ready to sit down and eat dinner. We sat down, we ate. She said she was going to come to my house, which she did. I told her, you're not supposed to go to my house except on Wednesday.
But why didn't you release your son at that time?
Well, here's the thing. I probably would have, but I was a little upset at the time. I was. And I guess it's no excuse. When the cops came, I guess I should have done that. But you know, she also came to my house before the police got here and bantered my other child and my wife. Cussed them out, told them they're lucky we had dogs or she'd come in this house. And so, yeah, I was a little upset. Sir.
Okay, stop. Guys, you guys can't make comments to each other like that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So guys, just so you know, the court generally provides a half an hour leeway. So if your drop off and pickup time is 6 o'clock, she would have till 6:30. Now that if it's commonly you're late all the time, yeah, people could come and say everybody's pushing it. They're there at 6:30. But if it's one time because you're in a metro area, inclement weather, construction, the court gives a latitude. So regardless of what happened, if she saw you, you did see her when she called you before 6:30, you guys should have either driven back, gave her your son when she came to the house. So that should have happened. Now, how did the next exchange go? Just fine?
So yeah, the next one went fine. Besides the dinner thing, she brought him home early on the dinner date, this last Wednesday. Just dumped him off. I tried to message her and say, hey, what's going on? Why'd you bring him home early? And was told, don't worry about it. It's my visit. I can bring him anytime I want.
Let's stop. So guys, I'm going to try to answer questions as I hear them arise. So ma'am, what led to cutting off your weekday visit?
Okay, so I was told by Dr. Beckley that when he's disrespectful, I should end the weekday visit and bring him back to his father. So that's exactly what happened. He was disrespectful.
But why wouldn't you tell Mr. Hamlin that?
I did tell him. Well, the first thing he said to me was a lie. He was like, why did you call Ricky a bitch? And I said, I didn't. Ricky was disrespectful to me at dinner at the table. So I left. I'm not going to sit there and let him swear at me and say, oh, you still owe my dad $400 in child support and treat me like shit. Why does my son even know about how much money that I'm supposed to be paying his dad in child support? When my son just sat there and told me, you do nothing for me. You've never done anything for me my whole life. My dad doesn't.
But have you
literally that's not the case.
Okay,
but have you me to just sit there? Excuse me, let me speak for a second.
When I speak, ma'am, you stop.
Okay.
When I speak, I stop. This is my courtroom. So when I speak, you stop. That's how it works. So you guys don't get to talk over me. The point I'm making is, are you still in counseling? Because guys,
yeah, I am. I see Dr. Beckley on a regular basis. His dad hasn't gone at all.
So you guys have been in front of me numerous times, and I'm listening to this, and why I stopped you from talking is you have a bit of a temper. Not that I found you mad at me, but the point I'm making is, it's a conflictory thing. If you want enforceable parenting time, but then as soon as he's disrespectful, and I get you're looking for different coping mechanisms, but I'm going to encourage you, other than just returning him, to try to figure out other ways, because here's what could happen. I'll talk
to Dr. Beckley about that.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna. That's what. That's
somebody through the court is recommending me do that. You're telling me one thing, and then you're telling me another thing. So that's nice.
Well, no, that's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm going to encourage you to talk to Dr. Beckley, because I understand you're looking for different tools. Listen to me. But you also may start up the dynamic, and you can tell Dr. Beckley, hey, the referee said, Dr. Beckley's office is right next to me. I talk to him every day. You can say, Referee Nicholas said this. I mean, he works for the
court. I know. I was there. I've seen him there.
But listen. But what you don't want to do is also, and you can tell Dr. Beckley that this is the question I'm going to pose.
Okay.
You could set up a scenario where Ricky wants to go home. So he just starts acting disrespectful and stuff to try to cut the weekend off or whatever, the visit. And you could set up a dynamic where he could then say, well, I'm just going to act really bad because mom will take me home. Now, I get you're in a catch-22 because you're worried that if you react in a negative way, you raise your voice, he's going to tell his dad, and then you're going to get told that you're too aggressive or angry. But guys, at some point, there's got to be a happy medium. I don't know what it is. I'm just posing scenarios out there and things you should think about, because it could also set up that dynamic that he's like, okay, I want to go home. We're doing our weekend, so I'm just going to act up and mom's going to take me home. You don't want to set that up either. So I'm just saying, pose that question to Dr. Beckley. I'm not saying you're wrong to take him back.
So the thing with the weekday visit when she brought him home, I tried to talk to her about it also through the app. My son has a homecoming coming up on October.
Okay.
And she, I told him there's pictures and dinner and other things that they have planned with their friends. I'm just trying to let her know what Ricky is thinking. And basically, she told me if I'm involved in any way, shape, or form, then Ricky's not allowed to go. It's her weekend. Don't worry about it. It's literally right in the court app. And so he was talking to her again.
Yeah, you can read the court app. That's not what it says.
He was talking to her about it. And basically, she said, you can't go if your dad's involved in any way. And he said, fine, I won't go. Let's talk about something else. And that's when she said he was being disrespectful and he was acting like a little effing bee. And then this weekend that just passed, my son told me that she came into the room crying, asking for a hug, and he refused the hug, which I did tell him he should not have done. And then Miss Kalaga asked him how long our son has hated her for. And he told her a long time. And then she said, well, F you, you're not going to homecoming now. You're acting like a little a-hole.
No, that's not what happened.
So Miss Kalaga, what happened?
Okay, so yes, Ricky did tell me about homecoming recently. So we had 2 talks about it. So for one, I gave Ricky the whole parenting time schedule. As soon as this last time I saw you, July, whatever it was, 28th or something like that, August 28th, whatever our last order was. The 16th, most updated one, I gave Ricky a copy. So he knows what weekends he's going to be with me, what holidays he's going to be with me, what birthdays, so he can coordinate whatever he wants. Okay? So we were eating at Chili's, and he told, this was the other time, one of our other Wednesday visits, and I'm like, when is your homecoming? Are you sure it's not on a weekend you have me? Because we need to figure that out. And he said, no, for sure on a Tuesday or Thursday. And I said, that's weird. Usually it's on a weekend, but you're going to a country school. I don't know. Stuff might be weird out there. And so I didn't think about it again. And then followed to fast forward to what he's saying the Wednesday where I dropped him off early. Yes, he did tell me, but his dad proposed it to me like, I'll be taking him to homecoming. He doesn't want you to have any part of it. No, it is my weekend with him. There is nothing wrong with me dropping my son off at a dance and picking him up. I have no problem whatsoever if his father wants to chaperone the homecoming dance. What his father told me he would be chaperoning. That's fine. Why would that bother me at all? I will take him to get pictures, to do the pictures. Why am I not allowed to go? It's my weekend. I have no problem with Max doing whatever he wants. It's a free world. I can't stop him. And so I told Ricky, and he said, okay, well, if you're going to be part of it, then I don't want to go. That's on him. That's not on me.
May I speak?
Sure.
I literally have it in a court app where she tells me, and I never said she couldn't go. I just told her there was paperwork involved, that I'm responsible for that girl. She said, I'll fill the paperwork out. I'll take her. If you're gonna have anything that,
but if you're refusing, what am I supposed to do?
You don't live in this district. You can't. It's between the school district and the family that lives in the school district.
Okay, well, let me see the paperwork because I don't believe you.
Okay, guys. So everybody take a pause. So Mr. Hamlin, explain this. You just said if she wants to take him on homecoming weekend, she's got to do it. But now you're saying she can't because she has to have permission for his date.
I'm saying she can't pick up his date. That's what I'm telling her. If she wants to be part of it, it's more willing. That's fine.
So you have to pick up his date and transport her separate than him. So
I don't believe that. That makes no sense. Why would it matter where I live?
Guys, ma'am, stop when I'm talking, guys, don't talk when I'm talking.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, you're telling me you're going to have to pick her up. Her parents are going to have to give her to her date's dad, and you're going to have to drive her separate, and she's going to have to drive your son separate and not the dates together?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's what I'm hearing.
Basically, she lives in a different district, so the paperwork's actually at Jeanette right now, Ricky's old school.
Yeah, she lives where I live, in my district. There's nothing wrong.
Does.
I don't understand why I couldn't fill out the paperwork.
But so Mr. Hamlin, ma'am, stop. I'll get there. So Mr. Hamlin, you're saying the school district is saying his mom can't pick up his date and drive her to the...
So I have to fill out my district, Emily City Community Schools. I had to sign as Ricky's parent. I had Ricky sign. My district signs the paper. Then we give it to Jeanette. Her mother signs, she signs, and then that
Yeah,
district.
I got you.
So I am on
But
that
her-
paper for my district. She can't sign.
But
to
you
my
guys
district because
you can't say hi. You can't say hi. We're in a divorce situation, and he's with the other parent that weekend, and she can't take him and his date to the prom. Or the
Exactly.
home.
So you're telling me everybody that's divorced, their other parent can't do that? I don't believe that.
Wow, this case is getting intense. What do you think so far? Is the judge leaning toward a tough ruling, or do you think they'll go easy on this one? Drop your predictions in the comments below. We want to hear your take. Now let's get back to the courtroom and see how it all plays out.
Well, ma'am, when I'm asking him, I don't want you guys talking to each other because it turns into an argument. If I'm asking the same question you're asking, you don't have to interject in there.
And all I'm going to say
do
on that is I don't know for 100% sure.
So you guys can check.
Shocker.
Guys, guess what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm not a micromanager. I'm going to say, you guys check with the school.
Yes, sir, I will.
If and ma'am, you can do it too. If whatever she's got to do, I suggest that you guys keep the peace, because the worst thing that can happen is you guys get into a dispute in front of your son's date and have it spiral out of control and have another family and another parents involved and have a mess. Don't let that happen. If that happens, I'm going to be unhappy, and Judge Dennings, I don't usually talk for the judge. She's not going to be thrilled.
Yes, sir.
You guys, you keep the peace, make it peaceful. You now have another child involved. Whatever happens, don't get in a fight with the exchange with this girl. Keep your peace, behave appropriately, and make it happen. I want him to go to this dance. Now, I understand that you have this bad dynamic going where now he now is in custody of dad, and at some level, sir, you got to do some heavy lifting too. You have to say, listen, your mom gave up custody voluntarily. She has restricted parenting time. He's not in control of the whole show.
Yes, sir.
I know, and no offense, Miss Cullega, we've talked about this. You have a bit of a temper and you use colorful language, but I have to figure your son is somewhat used to it. I'm going to count on you, ma'am, to work on that, but I'm going to count on you to work on that. But she's already given a lot. She's given up custody. She's got restricted parenting time, and therefore he's got to recognize that he's got his heavy lift, and you guys are still meeting with Dr. Beckley. But you all have a role to play, ma'am. Your son now is hypersensitive to you using profanity and that kind of stuff. And now he's
That's
a teenager, and he's like,
I respect your opinion, but I'm not here for that today. So there's one other thing I'd like to bring up.
Wait, what did you say to me?
I said that's your
You're not here
opinion
for my-
that he's hypersensitive.
You're not here for my opinion today?
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said I'm not here today to talk about him being hypersensitive to the way that I speak.
You understand that I can say whatever I like as the court. I'm making a point based on my repeated history on your case. So if you want to talk in a defensive way that's dismissive of what I'm saying, I'm going to think that all these times in front of me, you're not listening to me. I've done this 25 years. Yes, I've learned a few things. Guess what? I'm not a total idiot. You may think that. Don't tell me now. You can share that with whoever you want, not during court. This is a courtroom. I'm saying from my 25 years of history, this is the dynamic that happens. I've ruled on thousands of cases. You have a teenager now who's hypersensitive. He got a change of custody. He's hypersensitive to you swearing at him and using profanity. So you got this bad dynamic going now because now he thinks he's in control because he got a custody change. And I'm saying to Mr. Hamlin, on your behalf, he's got to say to your son, you have duties here too. Mom gave up custody. Mom is on an every other weekend schedule, but you got your heavy lift. You can't go to mom's and tell her, too bad for you. You're this awful person. You're a horrible mom. There's consequences to that.
Yes, sir.
But you all have your duty. You know he's now hypersensitive to how you communicate with him. I don't have the right answers. Talk to the psychologist. But at some level, I'm identifying the issues that you are having.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there one other thing I can say?
Yep.
Okay, so he was between the time of me not seeing him for the weekend that I was denied and the time that I seen him, he was hospitalized, and his dad only notified me through the court app. So I'd like it put in the order for him to at least call me through the court app. That would be nice since I have my notifications set to you guys.
When
I wasn't even in the state. And also, why did his not call me? Did his dad not list me as an emergency contact on any of his school stuff? Because I asked his dad for the login to check his grades since he does have an IEP. He won't provide that. So I've called the school and left messages about that. Nobody's called me back.
So your joint legal custodian should have all access to his stuff. So tell me about
To get tested. I sent her a screenshot of the hospital. I let her know exactly what was going on. I let her know that the exams came back fine. I let her know that all the information was good, that he was okay. And then she didn't check it for 26 hours. Then
But
she
did
said,
you call? So take a breath.
I did not
Did
call
you
her.
call her?
No,
Okay,
sir.
stop. So
No,
let me,
sir.
I'm going to cut to the chase. Stop. I'm going to make a point. AppClose is for day-to-day regular decisions, regular occurrences.
Yes, sir.
Emergencies such as a child almost having a concussion, you guys pick up the phone and call each other and say, we're going to urgent care, we're going to the emergency. So you both, emergencies don't count with the AppClose applications. You can put
Yes,
it in
sir.
there too if you want to document it, but you guys should be calling each other. So she's saying, I wanted the opportunity to possibly come to urgent care of the hospital. Maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't, but she
Yes,
didn't
sir.
have that opportunity. So
I
heaven
understand.
forbid something worse would have happened and there would have been more of a critical emergency. She might have liked to be there. Great.
I understand.
It's good that everything turned out okay and you filled her in. But do you understand you should have given her a call?
Yes, sir. I understand. I just kind of thought since it was like a precautionary thing that he said he felt okay, that it, like not emergency per se, I guess. So that's my mistake. I apologize for that.
Okay. And ma'am, are you on the emergency list in the school portal?
How?
And then fill it out. That's all she has to do.
All right. And I got to imagine there's instructions on the school website
Yes,
too,
sir.
I would hope. As well.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else, guys, before I make my decision, let you guys go for the day?
I mean, can we go back for some more visits or are we done with that? The 19th, he didn't eat till 11 p.m.
Holiday for Labor Day. Yeah, I wasn't even in the state. So no, I didn't take him for that weekend. And if he wants me to get an extra weekend to make up for the one that he denied me, sure, I'll take it. I literally thought it was his holiday. And then no, Ricky has the same food he's always had in this same house. My fridge is right there his whole life. He had eggs, he had Velveeta mac and cheese, he had whatever he wanted. If I asked him, do you want, and then my friend Jenna said the same thing. I took him over there when we went swimming. We made a bunch of tacos. He wouldn't eat. I'm not going to force the kid to eat. If he says no and then goes home and tells his dad, oh, my mom doesn't feed me, what do you want me to do?
All right. So you never punished him or said you're not eating out of punishment.
Oh, but the time that he's talking about, but the time he's talking about where he was outside, yeah, I had him for a couple hours that day and I asked him to bring in the groceries that we got and he refused to. And I said, okay, well, if you're not going to bring in any of the groceries, you can just stay outside until it's time to go home. I'll leave the groceries right here on the porch. So he was perfect. All he had to do was bring in a bag and he could have came inside. He chose to stand outside.
Was it a covered porch?
No, it's my front yard. If he's choosing not,
was it raining? Was he getting drenched in rain?
It was sprinkling. Like, yeah, it wasn't like a thunderstorm. It was in the summer.
What was the temperature?
It was like 70 or 80 out. He had a t-shirt on. It was before last time we were here. It's in August, man. It's like the hottest time of the year. And I had him at 1:30 in the afternoon.
You checked the weather that weekend. It was not that warm.
Stop sniping at each other. So, ma'am, you think that the best way of punishing him is having him sit in the rain rather than come in and pursue some other form of punishment for being disrespectful?
I think it would have been a lot easier if he just picked up a bag and came inside.
Sir,
go ahead, and then, guys, I'm going to make my rec.
So I'm just trying to, and I have no problem communicating with her. She will literally refuse it to. I don't, I don't understand, and I understand why my kid doesn't want to go there. You force a kid to sit in the rain, whether it's sprinkling or not. It's 4 hours. He's in a t-shirt. He's soaking wet. She made him put a towel in the car so as not to get her seat wet, but she don't care if he's wet. She doesn't feed him. And she can say whatever she wants. She should be providing it. I understand you got a box of cereal.
You think that she's starving him at her house?
I honestly do. If you got a box of cereal for breakfast, that's fine. You want to make a sandwich for lunch? She should at least be preparing dinner for him at the bare minimum. he shouldn't be having to go over there and cook his own meals. Okay, he's 14 years old. She's not showing up for visits. She's showing up late to visits.
I was never late. And the only one I didn't show up to was one that was your holiday, so that's fine.
It wasn't my holiday. It was court order.
Okay, man.
All right.
Court order for you to pick him up.
Guys, I've heard enough. Stop talking to each other. All right. So the fine is my recommendation, the temporary order of the court. You both have 21 days to object. If no one objects within 21 days, this will remain the order of the court. So one, plaintiff should be entitled to 1 week makeup weekend to be exercised in the next 90 days. So guys, I'm not going to limit you to like, I'm going to give you 3 months to figure out a weekend that you guys want to do that. 2, as joint legal custodian, plaintiff shall be placed on the minor child's emergency contact list.
She's already on that list.
Okay. The school,
Don't you think?
I don't know. Take it up with the school. Do I look like the school, y'all? I'm going to get blunt. Do I look like the school? Call the school. Take your joint legal order up there from August. You guys just did a consent order in August. Take it up there. I'm putting in this order so you can show this order to the school too. I don't need comments while I'm doing my rec. No more comments.
Yes, sir.
All right. So plaintiff, if she isn't already, she shall be included as an emergency contact. As joint legal custodian, she shall have all access to school records, report cards, etc. 3, party shall cooperate in plaintiff having access to the school portal. What are we on? 4? 4, the minor child shall be allowed to attend homecoming on October 14th, 2023. Party shall contact the school to see if plaintiff may transport their son's date. If plaintiff is unable to provide transportation or chooses not to, she shall give a defendant the opportunity to provide the transportation to and from the homecoming dance or the game and dance. Is it right after the homecoming game or no?
No, so the game is actually on Friday from 6 to 8, and then the dance is on Saturday from 7 to 10.
All right. Okay. So it's separate. So guys, see if she can take him, ma'am. You have a duty to call them too. Don't get in a fight. Talk to the other parents. If not, if you don't want to do it or unable because of work or other reasons, you're welcome to tell Mr. Hamlin and have him provide the transportation. What I'm doing is because of whatever's going on, I'm precluding discipline from preventing him from going. He's going to go. So find another method of discipline if that's been an issue. I don't think denying him this game is going to help. Even if he's being a pill, I don't think denying him homecoming is going to get him where you want him to go. It's just going to cause more resentment and angry. So guys, I would suggest keep going to Dr. Beckley. I'm not going to order you to do that, but she gets 1 makeup weekend for the one missed when she came there with the police within a half an hour of parenting time. Guys, it's a half an hour leeway. Emergency, I'm going to put in here. Party shall use app. You guys use app close, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Party shall call each other if there's an emergency and there is an emergency. Does that make sense?
Yes,
call
sir.
each other, right? Anytime exchanges shall occur at the Elmont Police Station.
But the Wednesday visits are still at his house, correct?
Do you want the week? So you're saying you want the weekends at the police station, but the dinner time at his house?
Well, I was told to go to his house because apparently he's not out of work at that time. That's the only reason I was ever.
Is that okay? So dinner will be from the house and weekends. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So parties shall use the Elmont Police Station for exchanges on the weekends and from defendant's home for the weekday dinner time. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's just
all right, guys. All right, guys. You guys have 21 days to object. If you decide you don't like this order, you always have the right to object and go before the judge. If she feels differently, you will not get in trouble. It's your right under the law. Okay.
Yes, sir. May I ask one more thing?
Yep.
On this homecoming, I have no problem with her doing the transportation if the school's fine with it. But again, we have pictures and like dinner. Can we make that sure that he can get to that also?
I would be providing the transportation for that. It's my weekend with him. Why would I not take him to the pictures?
So he just wants to confirm he will be allowed to go to the dinner with all the other kids and pictures with their families.
Yeah.
Okay. Make it happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to be ticked.
Yes, sir. And one more thing. I just want her to realize and know that my other son is attending and he will be at all of it. So I will be there and so will my wife.
Guys, if all parents want to get together and take pictures, guys, listen. You guys are expected to behave appropriately. If all the parents want to be around to take pictures at a park or wherever you're meeting, you can all be there. Keep it together. Last thing you want to do is embarrass your son and get in a fight in front of other parents.
Yes, sir.
You guys know how to behave. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So good luck. If you guys want to object, you have 21 days. We're going to email you a copy of this order of objection procedure. You guys are all set. Have a very good day. Okay?
You too, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
And that wraps up today's case. Do you think the judge made the right call, or would you have ruled differently? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a case. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.